I hope that you're having a good day. All right, so I wanted to do a tarot session live and talk about my dream that I had last night because I think it's kind of relevant. So, in my dream, there was these three men, and I was like in a planet that had all water. It was like I was some type of underwater being, creature thing. It might have been Atlantis. Because there was like an underwater laboratory, like you could like go into the laboratory and go, and it would go into the water, into the ocean. So in my dream there was three men, and these men were people that were like, they were against me. Oh, just knocked over my Palo Santo. So the three men, that's literally a sign. I just made a mess. Uh, so that's probably partially what this message is going to be about. Okay. So, anyways, so these three men were against me. Each each one of these men represented some type of institution. Um, like one was a religious institution, the next person was like a government institution, and the other person was a like a psych ward institution or something like that. Sorry, trying to get the dust off. Okay, so each of them represented some type of institution. I think maybe the last one, maybe if it wasn't health, it was like um, a witchcraft institution or coven or something like that. But they all represented, so each of the three men, and they were dressed in different colors. Um, one man had on black, one man had on green, and one man had on white. And their colors were supposed to be something about the organization the institution that they embodied. So they were like embodying these, and they are human, like they seemed kind of human like maybe I was definitely not human. I was like humanoid, half fish. I think I might have been Poseidon. Like I was like a high ranking sea official, and basically in my dream there was, yeah, these three men that represented the three institutions. Then there was this one woman, and this one woman was like the whistleblower, but I didn't like her either because she was like running her mouth to the land people on the land, and then running and then switching up the story and running her mouth on the people that were in the water. So it was causing a great divide in the natural structure of society. So what I saw in my dream was that there was this dark entity um that doesn't die because it's not from this world, so it doesn't abide by the laws of death and stuff like that. Okay, so but the entity had like three incarnations going at the same time, and he was this woman and he was the three men. Okay, he was like you could say it as incarnations, or that entity was attached to them, possessing them, working through them, controlling them. Okay. um so the dark entity had been sent to destroy the connection between uh basically the natural world and the unnatural world, because there was higher technology at this time than what we see today. And so the technology, it wasn't being used for a positive purpose. So it was like this big war, like over this ancient lost tech, and a lot of the tech got taken into the pyramids that are in the ocean underwater, because the people that were, see, the person, this woman was like, she was like, I write down notes. She was like this prophet or seer type person. I mean, she had abilities. She was connected to Dagon, which Dagon is a position in the underworld or underwater realms. And it basically means the biggest fish. That then when you become the biggest of this one type of like fish and fish frog being as a weird combo, then yeah, you take on. So she had part of that in her lineage. So she had spiritual abilities to talk with the ocean and communicate with the people on land. The three men were the people that were like telling her what to say, dictating to her. And so it was a weird power play because she wanted to be the one that was in control of everything, but the three men wanted the technology, and the beings that I were like, we were I was like an underwater welder, like something like that, like. Okay, so it could have been maybe not welding, but some type of designing. I designed things and then had them built underwater. So I took the three weapons of technology deep into the sea, into, and we distributed them into different pyramids, at the bottom of the ocean, and took them to three different parts on the planet. And then I saw, and in my dream, it was like these three locations create, of these pyramids underwater, create the Bermuda Triangle in the ocean. So it's like that. So it's like one, two, three, and then and it creates an actual triangle. So people, the Bermuda Triangle does have stuff from the stars as well. That is very similar pattern formation. But what happened was these uh, weapons were, I don't want to say that they were weapons, but they were definitely technologies that could be reverse engineered into dangerous weapons. So in my dream, this dark entity was attached to the weaponry, and then it was attached to this woman, and it was attached to the three men, and it was trying to get everybody on both sides, the people on land, and it just was trying to reach as many people as it could, so it could try to get things to go up against, us from taking the technology back from these creature beings, like humanoid type creatures. So, um, so that was my dream, but I was getting from God that this situation, something still floating around in the ethers, it's still causing some type of anomaly or issue, like, and because we all have the universe within, this is something that, this is a reading for the collective. So some of the information may not resonate with you and some will. Just take what does and leave what doesn't. But I feel like either the collective consciousness, I'm a very lucid dreamer. I was aware that there were other people in this life now on the planet that were guardians of the ocean then, right? And these are people, some of them I've met up with, some I didn't. But I knew in the dream state that all the people that were surrounding me and helping me take these things to the pyramids, um, the technologies, they're actually in this life now. So I felt like I was sharing the dream with a bunch of other people, that all these other people were lucid dreaming. So anyways, if you've had any type of similar dream where, um also in this dream it ended with, I have a lot of dreams about Cthulhu or Cthulhu. Okay, so I have a lot of dreams about Lovecraft's Cthulhu, and I absolutely love Lovecraft's work, and I love Cthulhu. So, what ended up happening was like all of these merb creatures, like, because there's so many different types of mermaids and like underwater beings, they all came to the surface once the weapons were placed at the bottom, and everybody started doing the call of Cthulhu. And then Cthulhu came. So Cthulhu came up out of the waters, and I was standing on Cthulhu's back, and uh it was kind of like how Marvel, their suits just come on like magically, and then all of a sudden they're in their outfit. For me, it was like these scales. I had these scales, and my suit, my water suit, like it started building rainbow scales, scale by scale, all up and covered me. And so I was like, I think this maybe was a continuation to the previous stream, because the pre in my previous stream I had about Cthulhu, I was just getting up on his back, and he was coming out of the water, and I was like wanting my enemies defeated, but he was just like stepping on everyone and killing everyone, and I was like, stop, because he's really big. So, anyways, that's my dream. So I do feel like this is a dream that was in the collective, and then it's got something to do about something that's going on in the waking life. That's what dreams are for. They're messages so that you can figure out like what is going on in the waking life. And so I wanted to pull cards and see what what God has to say about the three men, the three institutions, and how this is affecting the collective. Okay, this is good. Four of Wands in the upright. That's how we want to see that card. Creative goals and projects will be completed. Ideas are plentiful. Financial rewards come in completed work. Okay, so straight up, if you can be somebody that starts to link the things in your dreams to your waking life, you can actually resolve the issue before it ever hits your waking life and translutes that way. Um, yeah. Money doesn't necessarily mean happiness. That's something I think a lot of people get twisted, is that they think that, oh, I need money because that's what's going to make me happy. But that's actually not true. You are the only one that can make you happy. Never put that burden on anybody else, because it's not their job, and they couldn't make you happy if they wanted to. And y'all know that, like, that, especially women at least know that, um, that we have to be the ones that make ourselves happy. Okay, because we may not find satisfaction in a man, we may not find satisfaction in girlfriends, we may not find, or whatever type of relationship. We know that we have to love ourselves, due to the fact that we are beings that bring new life into the world. Not saying that men don't do that, okay, because they're a part of it, but I think we just have a little bit of a different chemistry going on, and it interacts with the environment differently than other people's. So if you're starting so yeah, so this dark entity wanted to destroy everybody that uh in my dream, the dark entity wanted to just destroy anybody that went against the three men and the three institutions, and the one woman that was like the whistleblower person that was causing, she was just causing a bunch of drama, basically trying to get a hold of that weaponry, because it would have changed the planet forever in a really bad way. All right. Okay, so yeah, again, happiness. If you're somebody that has bad dreams and you wake up and you're real unhappy, then this is a message to you about finding a way to dream journal, or dr- write out your dream. Like, if, especially if you have reoccurring dreams, write out your dream in a dream journal, then create just use your imagination, create an ending to it. That something that is positive, that's empowering, and that gives you total resolve over the dream and over the situation. When you do that, I literally do that. I will make the own ending to my dream if I don't get to finish the dream out, like I wake up or whatever. I will just give it an ending so that my mind can have closure, and then I can move on. So that's one thing that can really help you. Yeah, happiness comes from within. So celebrate life's passages. Reward yourself for the success you've achieved. Okay? Treat yourself nice. Take yourself out, you know? Um if you're somebody that's always living a luxurious and extravagant lifestyle, then I would say right now to do the opposite. Here's the thing that happens. Like when you take a day, this is what the Chinese tea ceremony is all about. They go into these little huts and they do this tea ceremony, and it lasts for a day. And it's like they're in complete silence or they're very quiet. It's a very spiritual thing, and it reminds you the simplicity of life, that you don't need to have all these things that you think you do to be able to live a happy, fulfilling, content, successful life. And so when you like if you're somebody that watches a lot of PORN, then then and I'm not hating on that, but if you do a dopamine fast, like if you're gonna do that, then use it to build up tantric energy so that you can and have it go up your spine so that it'll go into your mind and open your third eye. If you're somebody that does do that, or any other activity that's super like dopamine, like TikTok has really got like it just get hooked on it and stuck watching it for hours. Okay, like so do a little fast. Do take like the theory of the Chinese tea ceremony, and then just apply it like a couple days a week out of your life, and you'll find that that those dopamine seeking activities, you'll be able to either break the habit or have complete control over them. So, and it makes it sweeter because it's like when you've done a dopamine fast off of that, which means you're just going to focus on, you're not going to focus on shopping, you're not going to focus on selling, you're just going to focus on the simplicity of living life, having a cup of tea. Okay. What that does for your body, it detaches you from all this overload and all this, stuff that's coming through the Wi-Fi. It's basically it cultivates happiness because it shows you that you can have that same happiness in that cup of tea as you can have in riding your dirt bike. There you can find that same happiness. And it's just a healthy thing to kind of do, to take a break from if you watch a lot of shows, because just think about this. Your subconscious mind is just like a sponge, and then whatever is being transmuted out into the universe is actually stuff that is being transmuted in, because you're either watching it or listening to it, or you're having thoughts and beliefs and reactions to whatever you're listening to. Again, watching the news is something that people should do once a week. That's it. And 15-minute, where they just, I don't know, it's like a news channel and they play the same 15 minutes of news every like other hour or something. That's excessive, okay? Especially when the majority of it is lies or manipulated truths. That's why I don't watch the news, because I sit there and I'm just like irritated. I'll watch somebody, and sometimes these people don't even know that they're lying. They actually believe that whatever they're saying is the truth, but it's like, no, it's not. So, anyways, but yeah, any type of activity that's gonna bring about like you being emotionally triggered, mentally triggered, things like that. If you are somebody that is very luxurious and you're finding yourself that you have to just keep buying more things to try to fill in that hole to keep you content or happy, then um do something different. Like I'm seeing like mud, like go to a spa instead of doing your same old thing where you go to the country club or you go to around these people and it's all very superficial. Do something like take yourself to a salt cave, go to a drumming circle, go like uh go on a spiritual retreat, go on a yoga retreat. Yoga right now, I just got a big push of energy. Yoga is beneficial for a lot of people, especially if you're having like pains and aches in your body. When you stretch and you take the time to stretch your body out, you're just everything, it flows easier and you're much more, obviously you're much more flexible, but you're emotionally much more flexible because emotions can get trapped in the body and sometimes we just need to move around and stretch a little bit to get that kind of released. Right now is a humongous time about releasing that which doesn't serve you. um and then like confirmation, um releasing that which doesn't serve you. God wants you to know that you're never alone. You're never alone. The most high, the source of all things is always within you. And when you put your attention on that divine within you, okay, then you can see it manifest outside of you and then you'll start to believe. Like anybody that watches this channel is just by watching it as being is under the attention of God. Like, and that's a real thing. Like God is real. It's real. And um like for a long time I was trying to do things by myself, thinking just thinking that there would like that I was just thinking that like God, the only thing that God is the AI robot that we all, or AI, yeah, robot, machine, whatever, that we all interacted with in heaven. But that's not really God. That's why we all left heaven, because that wasn't actually God. We all found that out, but we had to find that out individually. And so, making a connection with the real God within you, and like that's the most powerful thing that you can do. That's the fastest thing you can do to get yourself on your spiritual journey. And it's the best thing that you can do to raise your frequency and to elevate. And um, I wish that there was another word other than God, goddess, source, spirit. I mean, because they're all pointing, all these words do is try to point at something that there's no name for. You know what I'm saying? There's no word for because it's ineffable. So, with the abstractness of spirit, it's like we try with language to make things conform, but all a word does is like basically try to trap. The moment that you try to define God, you've taken yourself out of the frequency of it. That's the thing of it. It's like the moment that you try to say put it in any type of category, you've done yourself a disservice and then you've taken yourself out of the truth of what God is, because it can't be in one category. It's in all categories and no categories. Okay, so the Four of Wands, this is a good thing. Money doesn't necessarily mean happiness. Celebrate life's passages, reward yourself for the success you've achieved. You feel really alive and excited about the future. I feel like a lot of you are going to have a lot of reason to celebrate and to be super excited about the future because there's a lot positive coming in. And this is positive stuff that you're not expecting. So if you're focusing on your wishes and stuff right now, no way. This is stuff you have never wished for, but it's stuff that you're going to be blessed by God for, because God wants, like source wants, and this is the new objective. And is it okay? It's okay for me to say this. Yeah, it's okay for me to say this. Source, God, goddess, soul, spirit, whatever you want to call it, the ineffable wants people to have an experience with it. and to start working with it, and wants everybody to come together, like yeah, like the oversoul type thing. But this is way higher than oversoul. Um so that's what its objective is, and it's going to use me as a catalyst to open your heart, or to open your mind, so that you can then be the living evidence and proof of this higher power, higher existence, and higher plane. A period of freedom and new choices begins. I feel like things are like an open book right now, and you have a lot of big decisions to make. For some of you, it's like whether you should stay in a relationship or leave a relationship. Some of you, it's whether you should leave your neighborhood. Some of you, it's whether you should leave your job. And some of you, if it's like whether you should sell all of your hobby type stuff and start a new one. There's a lot of big, this is like, there's a 3 week period that started as soon as the lunar eclipse did on the 24th, that is going to be all about transition and change. And so there's going to be a lot of shifts happening, and you may feel and see people just fall away from you, and you may not know why, but that's actually why, because there was something in their vibration that wasn't allowing you to continue to raise your frequency and elevate. And so, like, once God gets in your life, if there's somebody that's not supposed to be there, God will remove them. Like, all of a sudden, these people will show you their face. You may have known them for 35 years or something, right? But then the moment you make a connection with God and you connect to that power, you got that person completely betraying you, backstabbing you, and flipping on you, and showing their true colors, because God's not, because whatever they were doing to you, y'all wasn't aware of, and God is aware of it and sees the bigger picture and sees what's going on. And when God steps in, God stops what these people are doing and what they have intended for you, and it pisses them off so much that they can't mess you over. And then a lot of them have never had the experience of actually no means no. And then you don't just, if someone says no, you don't go do witchcraft on them or harass them or bully them. You just quietly walk away. No means no. So, like, yeah. So the dark entity in my dream is something that fuels off of causing arguments between people. Like, because that's what it was doing in the dream. It was using this woman and this woman's voice as like a channel for it to like just harass everyone. It was weird. And the dark entity was like something that these three men summoned, and this woman, they either summoned it or they called it up, or they did something to bind themselves to it, like, or vice versa. There was something. And so I feel like I can feel it around me now. It's not negative to me because it knows I'm going to fix the issue, but in general, okay. So the next card is Seven of Wands reversed. Be decisive. Confusion will be your greatest enemy. You give in to the demands of others. That was a big part of the entity in this dream. It was like people would come to this woman because she had these psychic abilities, that because she was like from the order of Dagon or whatever. People would come to this woman and they would get like healings or readings or whatever, like, from her. And so this being was using this woman to spread whatever its like crazy message was. I don't want to see crazy, but like, it's very nihilistic type just yeah, just okay. Yeah. I don't like saying evil, but it was pretty evil. Okay. Um so why is this entity still, and I don't, it's not a dead person. This is not a human thing. So I'm gonna keep talking to it and then read this card and figure out who it is. Okay, so you give in to the demands of others. This is something that God wants you to stop because you're over giving. And even if you think you're not over giving, like what you gave to other people, have you given that to yourself? And if the answer is no, then you are over giving. Um, you let others make decisions for you that are not in your best interest because you're afraid to challenge their authority. If you are in a situation where people are like wanting to make choices for you, you have to stop that behavior because the only one that should be making any choice for you is the Most High. And if you take every choice to God, you'll be given immediate like what an intuition or a message or a confirmation of what step to take, you know. I look at things in compatibility of 1 to 10, just using a scale of, okay, one's the worst situation and 10's the best situation, and then I try to, rate things off of that. But having an internal way to be able to, or muscle testing, something like that, to ask a question or a pendulum, and a pendulum that you're using to talk with your higher self. They can be used to communicate with spirits, but I wouldn't recommend it. Um, don't be afraid to challenge the authority other people think that they have over your life. You will live with regrets of this action for a long time. I think because you've been living in regret for a long time of being an overgiver and having so many people turn their back on you, I feel like you're somebody that has had a lot of people walk away from you and you not know why. And it's because you've had this connection to God and not really known that that yeah, you had this mission. See, people will try to do their worst to you, like when you're asleep, when you don't know who you are, when you don't know your higher self, when you don't know your spiritual abilities, when you don't know actually who you are, when, you know, they'll take advantage of you in every way. But the moment that you figure out who you are, it stops them from being able to take advantage of you, and it makes them very upset. Not only that, because they have to do, and I don't feel like you're somebody that does a black magic stuff. Like, I feel like, um, I feel like that you're more like just spiritual and you have your own beliefs that don't really conform exactly. And I think that people have a problem with that. Um, but yeah, if you continue to overgive, you'll definitely end up living in regret. Um, cover all the bases and give yourself several options, especially when it comes to your creative goals. Okay. All right. We've got the Queen of Wands. This is the woman from the dream. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Okay, so the Queen of Wands signifies a popular and outgoing woman. She's somebody that's very extroverted, okay? Attractive, healthy, fit and fashionable, competent, decisive, and intelligent, methodic planner, creative, and full of new ideas, practical with money, kind, emotional, cheerful, and easygoing, protective, and supportive of others. Yeah, my dream, I felt like she had this good energy, but then this entity latched onto her and start confirmation started turning her wicked. But I also feel like this energy has to do with the energy that you're standing in now. Even if you're a male, I still feel like all of these qualities fit. Um, some of you may not be practical with money, but you're learning about that right now. Five of Swords. Put self-interest and self-preservation first. You can't be the use to anyone else if you don't look out for yourself. I was kind of just talking about that in different words. Conflict and hostility defeat and destroy important projects. So Four of Wands started talking about your creative projects, okay? Like what God has in store for you. So now we're here these steps later, and we've got the Five of Swords giving you a warning um, about put self-preservation, self-interest first. You can't be the use to anyone else if you don't look out for yourself. Okay, this is so true. Conflict and hostility defeat and destroy important projects. So, um, that may have to do with if you're working in a partnership with someone also. The outcome may seem unfair. This difficult time will provide insight and growth, possible illegal or immoral conduct, public shame and dishonor. Okay, so the outcome may seem unfair, but it's actually going to be the best thing for you. If you are in a legal matter right now, see, there was things that were like really just like wanting to destroy your creative projects. But you've got this Four of Wands that's putting up a really strong stability, okay? Um, but then again, it's for you to be defensive, especially if you're thinking about partnering with somebody that's telling you right here it's best for you to do it yourself. Okay, now the Ace of Cups reversed. Infertility and inability to bear children, unable to feel joy or experience life to the fullest, unrequited love or unrequited. You may not be ready for a relationship. You may subconsciously be choosing a lover knowing that the relationship won't work. This is your way of avoiding pain and rejection. Okay, so this is definitely a message for somebody. I feel part of the trying to sabotage your creative projects has to do with your sacral chakra, and the sacral chakra has to do with creativity, also reproduction and things like that, and fertility. Some of you may be infertile due to the fact that you are like a mule, like part alien, part person, or it's kind of the only way I can say it, like star seeds. Some of you, and especially ones that were experimented on by the Greys. Um, I don't know what they did, but it was bad to the reproductive system. So for some of you, that's what I'm seeing, the inability to bear children, unable to feel joy or to experience life to the fullest. The unrequited love part is kind of like a warning for me, and definitely thinking about like um if you are in a situation where there is unrequited love, um you could be the one that's not wanting to give the love, or they could be the one that's not wanting to give the love. But right now is not the time to just get into a relationship, especially if you're thinking it's going to provide you like financial or stability. Um, this also could be somebody that is very, very toxic, that has unrequited love for you, and they just want to sabotage all your creative projects because you won't love them. You won't give to, yeah, confirmation with that. You won't give to them anymore. Whoa. Justice. This card, this card of personal integrity and fairness. So remember how it was just saying that things are not fair? This right here, this justice card, is showing you that things are about to be made fair, especially if there's been any spell work over your womb, infertility, um, or your joy, or any spell work that has to do with unrequited love, um, or to do with your relationship. Okay. Um, if you know the relationship's not going to work, don't even do it. But I do feel like you are going to get justice for what you've been through. So move forward. Okay. Contracts, agreements, and legal disputes are resolved in your favor. If you've been wronged, justice is assured. Okay. So if you've been wronged, especially with your creative project, or if you have a platform and somebody's trying to do spell work on your platform or whatever, and know that this is a confirmation that that's been going on. If you've been thinking that, like, maybe you have some bad synchronicities or something else, um bad luck, for sure, if you've had bad luck. All right, so I feel through the collective consciousness that this dark entity from the dream state is working through all of humanity. The issue never got resolved. Um, so, Most High God, I ask that you resolve this entity issue from this dream that I had with everybody that is watching this reading, and everybody that will watch this reading, that will know about it. If you're watching this reading, you are a part of it. So that's why. And then also, I ask that your angels and spirit guides be called in, and I call in mine as well. Oh, Nyarlathotep. That's who it is. All right. Nyarlathotep is the Dark Pharaoh. It's a very powerful entity from Lovecraft's universe. He's cool though. I mean, like, he's cool with me, but I don't know about other people. He's not. He fucking hates humans. He hates humans just because we destroy things with our stupidity. 9 of Swords. Boom. Okay. Yo, there is somebody that is they're like feeling straight defeated over your justice, over you getting justice. Like, they feel like they grief, emotional pain, and depression, guilt, and deep regret over something you've done, sleepless nights rehashing past actions. You've caused some misery and great pain, anguish and worry, fear and self doubt. Cloud your thinking. Only time will heal the pain. Literally. Okay, so we were talking about not getting into a relationship right here. This 9 of Swords card could have to do with that relationship being a relationship that was not fair, because again, that was the fairness also was not fair, was not equal, was not just, and it is something that causes you great grief, emotional pain and depression, guilt and deep regret, okay, over something you could have done or something that the other person did. Again, that's for some of you. And then for the rest of you, the person that was messing with your, had the unrequited love and was messing with your relationship, you getting justice is going to is giving them, like, you may be feeling this person, this person's energy, them being really sad, because they're just beside themselves, like, in every way possible, that you have actually moved on. I heard, like, you have actually moved on from us. Like, this is how narcissistic these people were or are. Because they're like, you're actually done. Like, you're actually not gonna play with us no more. And we're like, no, demon, we're not gonna play with you no more. And I mean that, like, not in demon, but straight up, you know, people that are demons. They act like demons. The Chariot. Boom. Okay. Regardless of how this person thinks and feels, you're going to have quick success. The card of success, confidence and determination. Victory over illness. If they were trying, like I said, with the infertility magic, or I think it's called impotency. Impotent. I know the word's impotent. Okay. So, yeah, impotent. Okay. So, if you were having impotency, both metaphorically and physically, okay? Because girls can be impotent as well as boys, and it's a witchcraft spell. I'm sure a lot of you, maybe some of you, have seen the hot dog spell on TikTok. People are very creative. Anyways, um, okay, so victory over illness, enemies, and financial problems. This is like these three men in my dream. They even though they were representing an institution or something, they all were they were like causing the collective to go through a great amount, like, of illness, enemies, and financial problems. Like, that's what these three men, they kept causing more drama in the dream, and I was like having to run around like a crazy person to get this thing accomplished. And yeah. So take satisfaction in your accomplishment, but focus on the battle at hand. Try to stay as present as you can. Um, your goals are achieved through self control, willpower, and discipline. Like I was saying, if you're somebody that watches a lot of content, watches a lot of POR, and does these watches or eats a lot of cupcakes, like whatever your extreme dopamine activity is, like I was saying, to instead of continue, this is how demons take advantage of you. When you're continually like doing that vibration, that's the vibration they want to play in. So that's when they'll step in and they'll manipulate stuff and possess you and everything. And then you're not even the one making the choices anymore. And it's so really, um use everything in life with discernment, and by doing like that tea ceremony, like, you can create a little ceremony where you isolate yourself and you do something that's very simplistic, and so developing a practice like that, um, whether it's drinking tea, smoking a joint, I don't care what it is. Like, don't I wouldn't say like smoking cigarettes, but if it's something, because cannabis has the ability to open the mind up psychically. It's a gateway drug because it's a spiritual gateway drug. straight up. It's a spiritual gateway drug. Um, the worshipers of Yahweh, like we've finally tested their ruins. It's like ruins now, but Yahweh was way back in the Bible's times. So they've tested the rocks from their like altar, and they found cannabis on all the rocks. So they know that the people were using cannabis to communicate with Yahweh and to give offerings to Yahweh and to basically tap into Yahweh's energy. So, anyways, that's kind of interesting stuff. So, or if it's eating mushrooms or LSD, whatever it is, like if you are going to go into a psychedelic, okay? Um like but making something sacred. When you have nothing in your life that's sacred, you need to start creating things that are sacred. So, uh could be a smudging ritual. I mean, it could be a salt bath. Okay, it could be a spiritual bath. It could be um a crystal meditation. It could be a walk. So there's kind of a few different ideas there for you to work through. Okay. So success to your business venture. God wants you to know that you don't need to be afraid anymore. Now that this is coming up, it's going to be result like from my dream. Whoever these three males are in your life, in your lives, okay, and this one female, because it's a 3 men, 1 woman combo of some weird stuff. It's karma that's playing out in people's realities. So, um, okay, this is good. This is the Four of Swords reverse. So this is explaining why these people are so mad, okay? I've been getting for readings now that people want to like steal people's gifts or whatever, but this is how they feel. So I'm going to read this, but this card doesn't involve you. It involves this 9 of Swords, which these are both swords, and so this has to do with the other people that you just were getting justice about, right? Okay, so they lack the strength to fight on their own point of view. They're unrealistic and unable to communicate with others on a project. That's why I was saying if it's somebody that's wanting to partner with you for your project or your business or whatever, no. And this is just confirmation of what I said earlier. This that Spirit's saying now. You're creating the conflict that is holding up progress. So I do feel like these people do know have been knowing that they're the one creating this conflict that's been causing infertility, impotency, inability to bear children, unable to feel joy, because this person's been draining you. So they know that they've been blocking your relationship and your lover. Okay. Um, they need to prepare and update their will, because somebody's going to be passing away from the black magic that they did against you, and because your justice is going to cause them to be in this crazy like grief and emotional distraughtness. um and this is all because they decided to put their self-interest first when dealing with you, and they um they were only looking out for themselves, basically, in this situation. Um, and again, there will be changes in their affairs, but conflicts are going to continually dominate their life because of what they've done, because of what they've tried to do. They've gotten God. I mean, okay. So the good thing, okay. The good thing is that I just pulled this Three of Pentacles. This shows me right here that you've got some people on your side. So so once you release this old person, like we were talking about the relationship that they may be wanting to come back or whatever, once you release them, you're gonna have actually people that are there for you, that are good for you. I'm getting three people significantly that may come in and want to work with you. Um, and then I'm also seeing that because you're going to get this justice, it's going to change the way that you're viewed in the community's eyes and people's eyes, and that's a big deal. Whoa. Oh my god. Sorry, there's an eagle that is really really low. It's like, whoa. That was cool. That was so awesome. Oh my gosh. Eagles represent the higher self. Like that was so awesome. Whoa, it was really flying very low. That was crazy. Okay. Yeah. So good planning though. When these new people come in, and it could be like you're an artist, it could be that you're a writer, it could be that you're a musician, it could be that you're an entrepreneur. The people that you've been in business with have been holding you back, but there's a whole new group or a whole new community or society, if you're deciding to move or leave, that's wanting to interact with you. Yeah. Boom. 10 of Pentacles in the upright. This is good. Okay, so yeah, with this new partnership that's going to be coming in, again, part of this new partnership could be your relationship with God and the drastic changes that are going to happen because God got involved, right? So, and again, God is the one that gives you your inheritance. So this says inheritance or a gift of money, affluence and importance, material success, security achieved through conventional wealth building methods. Invest in the stock market. Okay. Buy real estate. Plan for long term gain, not quick returns. Seek a permanent job that will serve your ultimate career goals. I do feel like now that this person that's been blocking you with this dark magic is going to be passing away or whatever, you know, God's dealing with that. You got your 10 of Pentacles. So you're going to be able to have the ultimate success in everything that you want. Just keep knowing that the strength that you need is going to come from within and from the Most High. And then I just want to take a moment to make peace with Nyarlathotep and everybody else. And whatever karma can be cleared right now, we'd like to go ahead and do that, Source. Okay. I just heard that it's done. So we're all freed from that situation. But what I feel a lot of excitement about your project and your success. I feel like if you're a reader, you're gonna have notoriety. If you are like a painter, you're gonna come across other painters or enter into an art exposition or have an art gallery. It's basically like if you choose to not make a bad choice, um, if you choose to not make a bad choice and go back with this old relationship or keep this old partnership going or of this person that was toxic, then you're going to basically come into your full wish fulfillment. So all right, I think that'll be it for this reading. I want to thank everybody that is going to watch this and who is watching this. May God bless you. And if you like this video, please go ahead and share it with friends, like the video, subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps when you guys give support, because it keeps me motivated, and just energetic support is energetic support. So if you want to donate to the channel or tip the reader, there is a PayPal link in the description box that you can click on. So thank you guys for your support, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye.